Today we are going to learn about inheritance. Let's think. We have a class called employee. So what are the data fields an employee can have? Employee will have a name, he will have his job title and salary. So we could create a class called employee with these data members, and we could also create some methods for the employee, like calculate the salary, get the details of the employees, set the details of the employees, and we can also create some properties. Now let's say we want to create another class called full-time employee. A full-time employee is an employee. He will have his name, job title and salary. In addition to this, to calculate his salary, he would have a basic pay, allowance and deduction. So a full-time employee is an employee. He could have all the members of employee, like name, job title and salary. In addition, he could have some extra data members. And the calculation of the salary for the full-time employee would be add basic pay and allowance and deduct the deduction from this. And we could have another employee type which is called as part-time employee. A part-time employee is also an employee. He will have a name, he has a job title and salary, but in addition to this, instead of basic pay, allowance and deduction, he could have how much is it hourly rate per hour, and how much hours he have worked. So instead of calculating the salary with the basic pay, allowance and deduction, we would calculate the salary of part-time employee by multiplying the hours worked with the rates per hour. So if you see here, the full-time employee and part-time employee are employees. They are created from the employee. They have the same data members as the employee, name, job title and salary. But in addition to that, they have their own data members, and the calculation of the salary would be different for each of them. So the concept of inheritance is, we are creating a class which is derived from existing class. We are creating a class from an existing class. Like here, we will create an employee and we will create a full-time employee from the employee, and we can create a part-time employee from the employee. So some of the key terms are, so employee is called as a base class or superclass, parent class, and the classes that derived from this is called as derived class or child class or subclass. So in our example, employee is a base class, full-time employee and part-time employee are derived classes. And we could also create a class from the derived classes. So if we do that, then for the new class, the derived class would be the base. For example, we could create a class called manager, which could be derived from full-time employee. We could create a class called accountant, which is derived from full-time employee. So a manager and accountant will have all the data members, could have all the members as full-time employee, which means they will have a name, job title and salary. which is from the employee. In addition, they could have basic pay, allowance and deduction. And in addition, manager could have different data members like which department he is working, and accountant can have his own additional data members. So manager and account is created from full-time employee, and full-time employee is created from employee. Same way, we could have an electrician and a cleaner who are derived from part-time employee, which means the electrician and cleaner has a name, job title and salary. In addition, they also have hours work and hourly rate. And in addition, electrician and cleaner, they can have their own data members. So in this tree, you can see employee is the root, which has two child, full-time employee and part-time employee. And for the full-time employee, it has two child, manager and account. And for part-time employee, it has two childs, electrician and cleaner. So we could have ancestors and descendants concept. Ancestors is the entire list of parent class, and descendant is entire list of child class. For example, if we take manager, the ancestors of the manager are full-time employee and the employee. So those class who is above this are the ancestors. And for accountant, full-time employee and the employee. For electrician, ancestors are part-time employees and employee. And for the cleaner, ancestors are part-time employee and the employee. Descendant are for employee, it has the descendant full-time employee, manager, accountant and part-time employee with electrician and cleaner. Can you tell me what are the descendant for full-time employee? Yes. So for the full-time employee, the descendants are manager and accountant. And the descendant of the part-time employees are electrician and cleaner. So, we can create a class and we can derive or create other class from another class. So employee is a base class, and we could create full-time employee and part-time employee as its subclass or child class. Now let's think the other way. Think if you have a person and employee as a base, and we want to create a full-time employee who is a person and an employee. What I mean is, we create a class from more than one base class. So in the first example, we have one base class and we derived more than one child classes. Here we have one derived classes with more than one base class. So this is called as multiple inheritance. If a class has more than one base class, is derived from more than one base class, then it is called as multiple inheritance. But in C#, multiple inheritance is not allowed. We can only do a inheritance. That means a derived class can be only derived from one base class. It cannot have more than one base class. So how about if we want a more than one base class, or more than one base which could be derived for one class? We have a concept called interface, which we will see soon. Thank you.